Hello Internet! In this video I'm going to be giving you a hot tip on how to improve your painting quickly. When on the internet, YouTube in particular, people always seem to be looking for the easiest or quickest way to get better at something quickly. Hence why you always see these clickbaity videos claiming to have the secret tip that will help you get better instantly. Nothing like this video, because this video is completely legit, not clickbaity at all. I'm not going to do that thing either where people tease to have a second secret tip at the end of the video, so make sure to watch at the end. I'm just going to be honest with you. If you watch to the end of the video, it really helps out my analytics. The watch time is incredibly important. It helps other people discover the video. The longer a video is watched, the more YouTube will recommend it. So for any of you that want to support the channel, I simply ask you to watch the whole video. It helps so much. Thank you very much, and let's go on with it. So recently I got a commission from my most regular client, and I wasn't actually told what the models were ahead of time. When they arrived, I was very pleasantly surprised to find an undead Blood Bowl team. Not only have I never painted any Blood Bowl minis before, but I haven't painted any zombies or anything either, so this presented a great challenge. This now brings us on to the hot tip I was talking about, and that is to paint something different. Of course, there is a benefit to repeatedly painting the same thing. For instance, if you sat down and painted 51 Orc Boys in a row, check out the video in the description and you'll see me do that. There's a very good chance that the last one is going to look a lot better than the first one you started painting. However, your growth is still going to be limited. It's going to be restricted by the things that you're painting. When painting something new, you're forced to explore things that you may otherwise never actually paint. This opportunity to explore is extremely important. In most creative fields, play or exploration is a brilliant way to evolve and grow in that creative field. For instance, when I'm doing my illustration, one of the best things to do is to draw stuff you've never drawn before. Why? Because you're learning about new forms, new textures, and new ways of lighting things and whatnot that you can then implement onto the stuff that you would normally draw, or in this case, paint. As an example, when painting this Blood Bowl team, I had to figure out how to paint their uniform. In the box art, they have black and orange striped t-shirts, which is what I wanted to achieve on these models. To do that, I would have to attempt freehand, at least to an extent, which is something I haven't done before. Having to try and create straight lines like this is not something I'm used to. As a result, my brush control will improve along with my precision. Now, to actually paint these lines onto the shirt, what I did was I went round and painted evenly spaced orange lines all the way around the t-shirt. After that, I would fill in every other gap between the two lines. After that, I would use the black that I originally used on the t-shirt, which was Corvus black, as it's a less shiny black, unlike Abaddon or something. I would use that black to neaten up the orange lines. I also had to paint two ghosts as part of this theme, which forces me to get up close and personal with the colour white, in a way I haven't for a long time. Exposing yourself to new colours through painting different things will really help when it comes to more creative projects, as you will have a better understanding of how a wider range of colours interact. Now, in my own hobby, I force myself to experiment with colours through my Tyranid army. Unlike my Dark Angels and my Orcs that follow a not very strict, but there is a definite colour scheme there, my Tyranids I try to paint completely differently every single unit. And I've justified that in the lore by calling it a Hive Fleet Relictus, where they've adopted abandoned Tyranids from different Hive Fleets and stuff after a planetary attack. Anything left over, this Hive Fleet goes and adopts them and grows their own. And as a result, they all look completely different. Now this means that I'm constantly experimenting with colours and different patterns and stuff on those models, opposed to my Orcs and Dark Angels, which are both just green. And then of course there's textures. If you only ever painted Necrons, you'll be lacking experience in painting skin, fur, leather, feathers, etc. Learning to paint these things may seem useless, but a lot of techniques could blend over with weathering. Learning to paint different textures is an incredibly useful tool, as it can really help add depth and versatility to your models. There's also the different shapes involved in painting something different. Learning how to paint on different shaped objects can be really helpful with your understanding of form and volumes. So there you go, my big bit of advice for this video is, if you only have one army or something and you just consistently paint those models, great. I'm sure you're pretty good at painting those models. But if you want to take it a step further, consider buying an entirely new model. I don't mean you have to start a whole new army. Just buy like a character model from a different army, that make sure they're like fairly different. Don't just go from one Space Marine chapter to another Space Marine chapter. That'd be really silly. Maybe go from a sci-fi based miniature to a fantasy based miniature. Fantasy tends to be a lot richer in organic textures and shape, whereas sci-fi is obviously a lot more man-made, sort of, in terms of shape and texture. Push your boundaries, paint something new, learn something new, and hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, comment, join us on this little creative journey that I'm going through, and I will see you soon for a Christmas themed video featuring a particular character. Wonder what that could be. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.